Hey NHealth family, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jiordana Saade and I'm a holistic nutritionist, and it's flu season, guys. So today's topic is all about how to fight the flu. So the body's main defense mechanism against the flu or against any type of infection or pathogen is the body's immune system. Now, the immune system is a very complex system, so it's a complex network of cells and proteins that work together to fight off anything that comes in its way that's not recognized by the body. Now, the immune system can be activated by pretty much anything that comes in its path that's not a part of the body in a healthy immune system. And essentially, to put it very simply, what happens is the immune system, as soon as it comes in contact with something that it doesn't recognize, it sends off this big alarm to the rest of the body. And there's like this cascade of inflammatory compounds that happen, and then other immune cells come to fight off the infection. Now, once an immune cell has been introduced to a pathogen, it kind of stores that information. So it almost like creates a code for it so that when it is in contact with it once again, it can fight it off much quicker. The immune system is incredibly adaptable. The human body is unbelievably intelligent. It's so cool. So now when we are exposed to the same type of virus over and over again, the immune system will be much quicker at fighting that virus off or that pathogen. So there are many things that we can do to help protect the immune system, but there's also a lot in our environment, in our lifestyle, and in our diet that might be harmful to the immune system. So I'm going to talk about 8 different factors today that can affect the immune system or negatively impact the immune system, because as we head into flu season, we want to make sure that we are not doing anything else in our environment that's further suppressing the immune system so that we're able to fight off whatever comes in our path. The first factor is lack of sleep. So I've done an entire video on sleep and I really suggest you check it out, it's great. But we know that sleep has a restorative function. Other than sleep being restorative, while we sleep, the body produces proteins called cytokines, and these proteins are really important for the efficacy of the immune system. So if we're not asleep, we're actually not producing these cytokines, and then we're much more susceptible to developing disease throughout the day. Now, I'm sure that you've maybe experienced lack of sleep for a couple of days, and you may have even developed like a sore throat or a runny nose, and really that's just because your body hasn't had that restorative function. So sleep is really important for the immune system. Now, the second factor would be stress. So there's actually a really interesting study done on anxiety and the immune system, and basically the results were that even just having anxious thoughts can suppress the immune system for up to 30 minutes. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Our emotions absolutely are going to have an effect on our immune system because our nervous system tells our body what to do. So if you have high anxious thoughts like throughout the day, you're also going to be producing a lot of these stress hormones like norepinephrine and cortisol and adrenaline. Now, all of those stress hormones are suppressants for the immune system. So they temporarily suppress it so the immune system isn't active when they are heightened. Now, in small doses, this is totally fine. But if we have chronic stress, like over time, we're chronically suppressing the immune system. And then again, we're much more susceptible to disease. So I'm not sure if this is something you deal with, but if you're somebody who has like herpes simplex virus or viruses that kind of lay dormant, you'll know that just at the most perfect time, you'll get a cold sore. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that while we're really stressed out, maybe stressed planning a party, or if you have a wedding coming up, when the immune system is suppressed, these viruses that lay dormant can proliferate and can express themselves. So it makes sense that if we have a lot of stress, the immune system is suppressed, and then the viruses are going to become a little bit more active, or they're not going to be able to fight off the viruses that are laying dormant. So this also bleeds into new antigens and new viruses that we're exposed to on a daily basis. The third factor is not getting enough sunlight. So this is a really big problem, especially if you live in Canada like me. Going into the winter time, there's so much less opportunity to get sunlight on our skin. Now, sunlight has a really amazing property for the immune system by activating or energizing the T cells in our body, which are a part of the immune system, and they fight off like kind of everyday diseases. But sunlight also has to do with our vitamin D levels. So vitamin D is a really important nutrient for the strength of our immune system. And going into the winter time, we just don't get enough sunlight. We typically need about like 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight on our bare skin, and because the wintertime's so cold, we're often covered up. So I really highly recommend that you increase vitamin D containing foods, so that would be like fish or nuts and seeds, and then as well as eggs, and then you're going to be able to increase the levels of your vitamin D without needing so much sunlight. But it still is important to go outside and get sunlight for those T cells as well. The fourth factor is diet. So I'm a nutritionist, so this probably is arguably the most important. But there's actually a lot that we can do in our diet that can help our immune system. So if we have a diet that's full of like all these different colors of fruits and vegetables, then we're giving the body a lot of phytonutrients, or there's a lot of antioxidants within those phytonutrients in the color pigments of the fruits and vegetables. And those antioxidants are going to help to fight oxidation, which means that the immune system has a lot less, has to work a lot less in order to fight off other diseases or viruses or pathogens that it comes in contact with. Because the antioxidants help the immune system and they also fight off on their own. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things we can do wrong with diet that can suppress the immune system. So one of the most important ones is sugar intake. So sugar actually can temporarily put your white blood cells into kind of like a coma. And this can have an effect even like hours after you've consumed the sugar. So blood sugar spikes are really closely related to suppression of the immune system. And if you're somebody who suffers from diabetes, one of the main kind of telling symptoms that you might have irregular blood sugar is that you're more susceptible to getting like colds. So making sure that our blood sugar stays stable is really important for keeping our immune system strong. And one of the ways we can do that is by just adding more protein or fiber into our diet, or cutting out any of the processed and refined sugars that we get in food or food products. The fifth factor would be smoking. So we all know by now, hopefully, that smoking is not healthy for us. It's not just the nicotine, though the nicotine does have a negative effect on the immune system, but it's also all of the chemicals that are inside the cigarette. So if you cannot cut down your smoking, one of the things that you'll want to do is to increase a lot of the antioxidant nutrients so that you can fight off any of the potential oxidation that's coming from the harmful nicotine or the chemicals in the cigarettes. The sixth factor is alcohol. So alcohol has a very similar effect that sugar does because it does break down in the body as sugar. So it's going to temporarily kind of put your white blood cells in a coma. Now, also, chronic consumption of alcohol or too much alcohol can hinder the body's ability of being able to repair itself. So over time, this is going to negatively impact the immune system and make it much weaker, making us more susceptible to any type of viruses or pathogens that enter our path. The seventh factor is lack of exercise. So, I mean, this area definitely needs more research and study. However, we do know that aerobic exercise is going to help to circulate blood throughout the body, and in our blood contains all our white blood cells, so which is our immune system. So if we're able to circulate that blood easier, then whenever we are exposed to a pathogen or a bacteria, the white blood cells will be able to get to that pathogen much quicker. Another positive impact that exercise has is it has a positive impact on our mental health or our mood, so reducing stress, which we know has a negative impact on our immune system. Now, we can take it too far with exercise. I'm definitely guilty of this one. So over-exercising can actually be pro-inflammatory and can suppress the immune system because over-exercising is also stressful for the body. So you definitely want to find that kind of like happy medium or that balance. And a really easy way to get that is to just go for a walk outside. Even if it's winter, bundle up and just walk outside. That way you're getting the vitamin D, you're moving your body, and you're also activating your bipedalness. Like, we are bipedal human beings, so we are meant to walk. It's very therapeutic. So we're also going to be reducing stress while we're doing that. And the eighth factor, the final factor, is lack of sex. So intimacy is incredible for the immune system, and this is often one that gets kind of overlooked. But being intimate with somebody actually increases your immunoglobulin A or IgA response. There are 4 different responses or typical responses of the immune system. There's IgA, IgM, IgG, and IgE. You're welcome to check out a video that I've done on immunity prior to this one where I go in detail about all 4 of them. But all you need to know right now is that sex is going to help to increase IgA, or the IgA response of the immune system. Twofold though, when a woman reaches climax through the orgasm, she's releasing oxytocin. And oxytocin has an extremely positive effect on the immune system as well as on the thymus gland. So the thymus gland is where a lot of our immune system lives, and it's actually where the immune system can be activated. The release of oxytocin is extremely therapeutic and strengthens the immune system. So sex is really a really good intervention that you can implement in your life more often if you have a partner or on your own. And it's definitely something that we are going to want to do at least like once or twice a week. So other than all of those factors, if you heard a couple of those factors that you know you have issues with or that you know are suppressing the immune system, I mean, we can't just like be a completely new person overnight, right? So I would just pick one of those things and focus on that for a little while, and then you can kind of explore the others. But as we head into flu season and an especially interesting year, I really recommend that you use supplementation as well to help to boost the immune system and also just make up for any of the lifestyle factors that might be hindering your immune system currently. So Nutritionist has come up with 2 new products that actually are really great for the immunity. So this one it's called Immunity, Vitamin C with Zinc. So vitamin C, we all know, is like antifungal, antibacterial, antioxidant, antiviral, it's anti-everything. And coupled with zinc, zinc is actually going to help to prevent the virus from replicating inside the cell. So zinc is a really great one for protecting against specific viruses. And together, it's kind of a powerhouse. So you're definitely going to want to take like 1 or 2 of these a day, especially as we head into flu season. And then the other one is quercetin, 1200. So quercetin is actually a phytonutrient or a flavonoid that's found within many fruits and vegetables, and as well as herbs. And quercetin has a lot of benefits, but one of its main benefits is its ability to fight off bacteria and viruses in specific organs of the body. So it works really well inside the stomach and in the digestive tract, which is where a lot of our viruses and bacteria come from. But quercetin also has an antihistamine effect. So quercetin is going to be really helpful around allergy season as well. Now, you're going to want to take the 2 together, especially in a year like this, because they're also going to help to build off of one another and strengthen the immune system together. We covered a lot today, so if you have any questions, you can always link them up in the comments below. Again, my name is Jiordana. I'm a holistic nutritionist. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. We do them weekly. And again, I just wish you a safe and healthy flu season.